Roza Mukanova is a famous writer and playwright, honored Worker of Kazakhstan, winner of the Franz Kafka International Prize. She is known for such popular play scripts as The Angel with a Devil's Face, Sarah and Me Under the Umbrella.
Бүгінгі әңгімені сіздің шығармашылығыңыздан бастасақ.
What are you working on right now?
Bir armağan taqribim var. Осы телевидениеге.
I have one theme, the theme of my dreams. When I come on television and give interviews, as a rule, I do not talk about what I write. But I have one creative idea that I've had for more than 9 years. And God knows it is time to start realizing it. I can say that 50% of the work has already been done. The reason why it has not been yet fulfilled is that while I was working on it, I kept having other ideas with a complete and finished framework in my mind. So I got distracted by them, and I kept postponing my dream for later. I've already written 3 pieces and they've already been staged. But I continue to work on my dream and will definitely finish it.
Ол шығарма басталды, бірақ ол бітпей тұрды. Менің арманым соны бітіру сол дүниемді.
Ал басталған шығарма?
In which genre?
Drama.
Бір қызығы сіз
Why some of the works of you are hard to write, as you often say?
сізге тән ғана дүние ме?
Кейбір шығармалар болады, өзінің күрделілігіменен.
There are topics that because of their complexity take a long time to write, and there are other topics where you just sit and write and they come pouring out of you. They are quickly written. And then there are those ideas that come to my mind in pieces, they are unfinished. It is easy to write pieces that already have a beginning and an end. Once I wrote a drama based on the story of Mukhtar Awezov, The Beauty in the Morning. I wrote it based on the finished 10-page literary work. This play was needed to be taken to Germany to mark the 150th birth anniversary of Mukhtar Awezov. So I finished it in 2 weeks. Then Akim Terazi told me, Never tell anyone that you finished the play in 2 weeks. This happens sometimes.
Сондықтан ол бір шығармалар болады, дап-дайын, жып-жұмыр болып келеді, тастай болып бітеді. Бір шығармалар болады.
Some pieces come ready-made, cool and even, and others create a lot of trouble. Perhaps because of the lack of the experience and knowledge, it is impossible to immediately reveal a character sometimes. At the age of 27, I translated Rabguz's famous Qisas-ul-Anbiya. So in these stories about prophets, I remember one short episode, a description of Sarah, which just struck me. And when I did the translation, I got the idea to write a play about her. But at my 27 years, it was impossible to have created a deep and important character as Sarah. And then I thought, oh, I'll come back to it again.
Бірақ 27 жастағы адам Сара сияқты кемел, дана әйелдің образын жасау қиын.
If you had written Sarah in your youth, would it be the same type of piece?
Жоқ, шықпайды. Кемел әйелдің образын жасау үшін сенде өзіңнің жасыңда болуың керек.
Of course not. It wouldn't have happened. To create an image of such perfect woman, you must have lived certain years, have had enough life experience and achieved a certain level of perfection. Firstly, I wasn't married at the time. I did not have children, didn't have a grasp of the concept of motherhood and continuity. I was still young. I was then 27 years old. I was 53 years old when I felt ready to try to write such a complex work as Sarah.
Сіздің мәңгілік бала бейнеңіз әлі күнге дейін
Your Angel with the Devil's Face has been around for about 20 years, and Sarah was staged in 2016. Why has there been such a big break?
Арасы тым алшақ емес пе?
Арасы алшақ, шығуы алшақ. Мысалы, мәңгілік бала бейне шықты, онан кейін 20 жылдан кейін Сара шықты. Бірақ осы аралықта менде басқа дүниелер жазылды.
Yes, there was a big break. Sarah came out 20 years after the release of The Angel with the Devil's Face. But in this time period, I wrote other works, good ones. I received an international award for Cat Kingdom. After that, I wrote Me Under the Umbrella, Muqagali, Kalmykov. But these were not staged. Although Cat Kingdom had a good storyline, it seems to me that the directors who wanted to stage it had some doubts. They feared if the choice was too risky, they would lose their jobs if they chose to produce it. I believe the foundation of creativity is freedom. The creative work itself should not be written with the idea to please someone. The depth of the work, its greatness, is precisely in this. Probably due to the fact that these were state theaters, they had fears. Me, Under the Umbrella, also received a state grant, but for some reason it was never performed on a Kazakh stage.
Шығарманың ұлылығының өзі сонда. Сол себепті енді ол мемлекеттік театрлар болғаннан кейін бәлкім қорқыныш болған шығар. Шатыр астындағы менде бұл мемлекеттік грант алған дүние. Бірақ бұл да қазақ сахналарында жүрген жоқ. Ол сахнада қойылмауы мүмкін шығарма. Бірақ ол тасқа басылып кітап болып шыққаннан кейін.
Perhaps this work will never see the light, but it has already been written and published in the form of a book. Therefore, it will probably be produced into a play one day. It is impossible that during the life of the author all of their works are great success and made into theater plays. We know this from the lives of the great classics.
Тағдырынан білеміз. Жазушының көзқарасы, талабы, оның көріп отырған шындығы.
The vision of the writer and their truth find home on the paper pages. For example, Awuzov's Damned Year and few other pieces were not published in his lifetime. But they saw the light after his death. This is a natural process. No one can expect that all of their works will be received well. No one can win all the awards. Every piece of work has its own destiny. Some works have a happy life, and some works are unhappy. But when the time comes, they are reborn as bright stars.
Өзінің тағдыры болады, ол да адам тағдыры сияқты. Шығарманың да тағдыры болады. Бір шығармалар бақытты болып келеді, бақытты болып кетеді. Бір шығармалар бақытсыз болып жатады, бірақ өзінің уақыты күні туған кезде ол қайтардан жарқырап, қайта шығып, осындай шығарма жазылған екен деп қайта жалындап шығып тұрады.
Are your works mostly happy?
Менің шығармам.
The angel with the devil's face is probably the happy one.
A theatre is not a production of a finished play, but a reflection on why events take place. Tadashi Suzuki, theatre director.
Мен көп жағдайда осы кейде көңіліміз толмай жатқан кезде өзіміздің академиялық театрларға.
When I don't like something in the academic theaters, I often think that as a playwright, it would be great if there were many theaters, more private theater companies. Because private theaters are independent. My works like Me, Under the Umbrella, The Cat Kingdom are popular with the independent theaters. Therefore, our viewers also need independent theaters. At the moment, young theaters, private theaters produce great pieces.
Бізге қазақ көрерменіне тәуелсіз театрлар керек. Қазір мына жас театрлар, жастар театрлары, жекешеленген театрлар, олар үлкен дүниелер жасап отыр.
Бірақ дегенменде бізде Қазақстан.
Are there a few of them in Kazakhstan? And why?
Дамуына не кедергі?
Қаражат.
Financing is the problem.
Мысалы, мен драматург ретінде менің қаламақым бар. Өзім талап ететін.
For example, as a playwright, I must have the fee that I need. Academic theaters say that my fee equals the fee of 7 scripts allocated from the budget every year. We can't pay you that kind of money, they say. And private theaters give me the fee that I set myself, because they need to attract the spectators. The spectators are tired of the plain repertoires. They need something new and fresh. They need change, another understanding. And they need good promotion. After all, the audience now is not just the audience, it is the intellectuals, the future playwrights, future actors. You need to give them a reason to watch the play, to come to the theater, to take a breath of fresh air.
Студенттер, болашақ актерлар, олардың ізденістеріне бір еркіндік, бір жаңа тыныс ашылу керек.
Біз сізбен бүгінгі әңгімемізді сәл үзе тұрайық.
Let's take a look at the little footage we have prepared for you. Professor of the Kazakh National University of Arts, Roza Mukanova manages to combine teaching with work. Undoubtedly, she has an absolute talent. In her works, she often creates complex characters, paying particular attention to the spiritual beauty of the Kazakh women.
Розаның шығармаларында мысалы ол қашанда жаңағы қоғамның ішіндегі, ел ішіндегі ең бір
In her works, Roza always reflects the internal problems of the society. the difficult situations in the country, the complex traits of the human soul, and the things that worry every one of us. She notices such the details that we do not notice in the everyday life. Because women are always sensitive and full of spirit. They are very receptive to any situation in the society, and they let everything through their heart.
She touches the topics around family problems. Through the example of one family, she doesn't only reveal a particular incident from the life of the society, but also shows the situation in the whole country. That's why her works are always popular.
It's nobody's fault. This play by Roza Mukanova won a state grant in 2017. The premiere took place in the Karaganda Regional Theatre named after Sakensi Fulin. Simultaneously, Kazakh Music and Drama Theatre named after Karabek Kwaneshbayev staged the play Sarah in Nur-Sultan.
We staged Sarah in our theater. I myself played in the production. The theme of the performance is universal. It is the continuity of human life.
When Roza picks up one or another topic, she always does lots of research to fuel her creativity. Therefore, her work penetrates right into the hearts of the audience and leaves lasting impressions. Roza is a great writer, no matter what she writes. It always turns out to be a good piece of writing that is relevant to masses. Staging new interpretations of some old plays is becoming common. Is this because there are no new ideas?
Бір үлкен себебі бар. Ол біздің бүгінгі режиссерлардың қазақ әдебиетін білмеу.
There is one significant reason for this. Today's film and theater directors do not know the Kazakh literature. They don't read enough. They go abroad, they go to festivals, go there on tour, and what they like, they bring back to the Kazakh scene, and under a false pretense of a discovery of something new. The director should always be on the lookout. Copying from somewhere and putting it on the Kazakh stage is a sign that they're not looking enough, that they lack creative outlook. After all, we have wonderful literature that allows us to produce successful dramatic plays.
Theatre is a living book. The outlook of the theatre is wider than that of a book. The book is the weapon of only those who are literate, and the theatre is the weapon of all. Smagul Sadbakasov, state and public figure. What is the current situation in the Kazakh drama?
Kazakh dramaturgiyası köşten kalıp жатқан жоқ.
I can say that the Kazakh dramaturgy has not lagged behind the global tendencies. Good and young playwrights are emerging. The Ministry of Culture holds an annual competition of playwrights. I am one of the jury members. I see many good works at this competition. Of course, if we talk of the complexities and peculiarities of the dramatic art, then a writer must definitely have enough experience. The late writer playwright Roza Mukanova used to say, drama comes after 40 years. A professional writer, a poet, cannot immediately arrive at drama. This requires experience. Drama as a genre has its own difficulties. You need to master the writing skills and perfect the craft. A writer who has mastered this can then try writing dramatic pieces. Today, everyone who has learned to hold a pen takes part in drama competitions. They write the overall of 40 to 50 plays. I read them. I cannot agree with any irregularity of the drama, as if I'm reading a normal short story or a poem. Dramaturgy is completely different. The patterns of drama are completely unique. Therefore, it is a very tough genre. If there are 10 active characters, then each of them must have their own depth. Who can do this? Only a true master.
Ол драматургия басқа. Драматургияның заңдылығы басқа оның. Сонан кейін ол қатал жанр. Оған жаңағы бір сезіміңді ғана беріп, немесе бір екі адамның махаббатын ғана айтып отыратын емес. Ода мысалы 10 кейіпкер болса, 10 кейіпкердің 10-ының да образ шығу керек. Оны кім жасай алады? Оны нағыз шебер мастер ғана жасай алады. Роман жазған адамның ол романнан ешқандай кемшілік көрмейді.
A writer does not see the flaws in his novel. A poet does not see the flaws in his verse. Everyone thinks, oh, I created a beautiful piece of work. The peculiarity of the drama art is that even during the rehearsal of the performance, you're constantly thinking, could I give the actor more freedom to develop the character? Am I constraining the actor? Did I give them too much text? Should I let them leave the experience on the stage? This is how drama is complex and what makes it different from the other genres.
The theatre teaches better than the thickest book does. Voltaire, philosopher. Should the playwright obey the will of the director?
No, they should not, because a director first reads a play and if she likes it, then decides to stage it. But if there's no drama, no distinct storyline in the play, there will be no plot. How can a director stage a play like that? After all, it's the playwright who creates the characters, and the director shows the actors how to play these characters on the stage. The director has a completely different area of responsibility and influence. I always say, whoever it is, whether it's the director or the actor, they create the characters and scenes that a playwright developed. And no composers and writers create things from nothing.
Бар нәрседен шығарады. Бар нәрседен алады. Композитор, жазушы, ол жоқтан бар жасайды. Ләйла деген қыз жоқ.
There was no Laila, but Roza Mukanova created her. But for the character to appear on the stage, this is where the director comes in. If there's no tandem, if the director and playwright do not find a common language and are not on the same page, the production will not happen. Both of these two must have depth. Both must have talent. If one is weak and the second is strong, the work will never reach its highest level.
How did you start writing plays?
Мен бірінші прозамен келдім. Әңгіме жаздым, хикаяттар жаздым. Мен драматург болам деп ойлаған жоқпын.
At first, I wrote prose, short stories. I never thought that I would be a playwright. Theater directors introduced me to drama when The Angel with the Devil's Face was published in the Kazakh literature newspaper in the story section. The theater directors discovered me. They said, this is a ready-made drama, let's stage it. But this was my first work, and the spectators accepted my first work. This was a rare opportunity. Novice playwrights don't get these types of opportunities easily. It usually takes time to win the hearts of the audience, but the spectators immediately accepted The Angel with the Devil's Face. So I realized that I'm a playwright, not a novelist. Drama has become my genre. Sometimes there are such plots where I can easily assign a genre and say, this is prose, this is a story, this is a short story, and this is a novel. But there are such plots where I know for sure that they could become great plays. When a plot comes to my mind, I immediately understand where the dramaturgy is and where the prose is.
Ол мысалы үркек керімді мен жаздым, Ақан серінің соңғы махаббаты Жамал екеуін. Соны оқыған еркін маған Жуасбеков звондады, Роза, мынау біз Ақан сері Ақтоқтыны қойып келеміз не қаншама жылдар.
For example, I wrote the story Үркек Керім about a love story between Akan Seri and Jamal. After reading it, the director of the theater, Erkin Jibek, called me and said, for so many years we have been staging the play Akan Seri and Ақтоқты. But you presented Akan's character so beautifully. He asked me to write a play, and I said, this is not a play, this is a story. I can't make it dramatic. Me Under the Umbrella is on the contrary a drama with a strong conflict. There must be a climax in the story. The story begins and then there must be a culmination of actions. Only after that the storyline ends. As for Erkek Kerim, it is like some of the keys or folk songs. From the beginning to the end, music keeps one pace and keeps the listeners in the same mood. Do you understand? You listen to it and literally melt down with emotions. But the story is different. It is not complicated as in a dramatic conflict. There is no heat.
Драматургияда ол жаңа 10 кейіпкерің ба, 10 кейіпкерің 10-да ашылу керек.
A novelist may lose a reader on the first pages. A playwright cannot afford to lose a viewer for a minute. Terence Rattigan, playwright. You never regretted choosing to write plays rather than books.
үлкен дүниелер жазар ма едіңіз?
Драматургияның қазір мүмкіндігі зор да. Бірден жазасың, режиссерға бересің, театрға. Ол мысалы бір 4-5 айдың ішінде сен шығарма аласың.
In general, the drama is now a great opportunity. You write, you immediately give it to the director. Within 4 to 5 months, he does the production on a stage. How is prose created? You write it, you bring it to the publishing house. They publish it, and 6-7 years can pass, and who will read the book? Are young people reading books now? Now young people want to watch performances, movies. Of course, there are those who seek and read books, but I cannot say that they are the majority. Therefore, it is hard to say that your work will immediately reach the reader, immediately be read, and will be appreciated. But in the theater, you do a production, and you get a response where they immediately say that it was a wonderful performance. People hear about it word of mouth, the tickets are sold, your work is on, the premieres are ongoing. A book is difficult to publish.
Сіздің жұмысыңыз жүреді, премьераңыз жасалады, жарқ етіп шыға салады. Кітаптың шығуы қиын.
But it still seems that in comparison with a well-staged performance, there is still more life in fiction.
Көркем шығарманың ғұмыры ұзақ секілді, қалай ойлайсыз?
Рас, өйткені репертуар енді ең ұзақ жүрген шығарма, жақсы жүрген шығарма.
I agree, the literary work lives longer, for about 20 years on average. The Angel with the Devil's Face is also 20 years already. It was just published into a book and no longer is on the stage today.
At the beginning of our conversation, you said about something you are working on now, something that excites you, something you will reveal when the time comes. Can you at least give us a hint?
Ол елдік.
It is a political topic. It will be about people, about a kingdom, about a country. It is a big theme.
Who should be the hero of today's time? What are the topics the modern playwrights should focus on?
Бүгінгі драматург, бүгінгі біздің замандағы қазір кітаптан ажырап бара жатқан оқырман үшін ол
a modern playwright. For an audience that is reading less and less now, the playwright should be able to tell the story of the modern hero, the social problems and peculiarities of our time. At some point, we had too many historical dramas in the repertoires of our theaters. Plays about Huns, butters, famines, and so on. They were needed and timely. Rather than looking for books, researching, it is easier to see a theater play and get informed. Modern theaters can provide to the modern viewers the information on the historical figures. For example, it takes a reader at least 1 month to read a novel. And in the theater, you'll receive all the necessary information and the impressions within 1.5 hours. I can say that the theater is a platform of ideas. I think theater shapes people's outlook. Therefore, the theater has its own separate purpose.
Талғам қалыптастыратын үлкен орда деп ойлаймын. Сондықтан театрдың жөні бөлек.
Theatre is the most significant art form of all the rest. Mukhtar Rawazov, writer. I cannot help but ask you about your spouse, famous writer Akim Tarazi. What is he working on?
Ағаңыздың ең бір маған соңғы кездегі жазған шығармаларынан маған қатты әсер еткен, менің көзқарасымды өзгерткен бір үлкен дүниесі.
Among the latest works of Akim Tarazi, I was tremendously influenced by the short story titled Andrei. It shifted my worldview. The story takes place during the Great Famine. The form of the story, the character of Andrei, the language of Andrei is very unique. This is a unique form and style in the Kazakh literature. I do not praise my husband only because we live under the same roof. No.
Қазақ әдебиетінде Андрейдің деңгейіндегі жаңа формадағы, жаңа стильдегі шығарма әлі туған жоқ. Мен бұл ағаң екеуміз бір үйде тұрғандықтан мақтап отырған жоқпын. Ағаңның 80-нен асқан кезде
The fact that at the age of over 80 years he introduces a new writing style in the literature is a discovery and big news. Andrei can be easily made into a play or a movie script.
Андрей фильмге де сұранып тұр, киноға.
Уақытыңызды бөліп бізге.
Thank you so much for your time. Good luck in your endeavors.
Уақытта сіздің жазарыңыз көп болсын.
Thank you.